Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Poker's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. Can I just give a big thank you to all them people that have subscribed this month and made it a good month for Poker's Corner on all fronts. So thank you very much for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment and pressing your notification button. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And yes, I do have a heart, even though I'm pretty ruthless on here. Which brings me to Benny from Crossroads. Yeah, that's right, you, Benny. You don't know what you're doing. Right. Boxer, promoter, Boxxer. What a name, eh? Boxer Promotions. Benjamin Shalom. Yet another privileged kid in boxing who's promoting. Just like Eddie Hills, just like Calla Sewer Yeah, another privileged kid sniffing around the sport of boxing. Never had it rough in his life. Bit like Spotty Frank Eubank as well, or otherwise known as Fat Frank. Now, what sort of company like Sky Sports, right, gives the reins to somebody like this privileged kid here, or entitled kid, after 5 shows? Yeah, that's right, 5 shows, and then he gets Sky dates. What is all that about? It's a bit like Richard Poxon, isn't it, really? Getting ITV pay-per-view after just an handful of shows as well. Shockers as well. Shockers. What's going on? Is it because these people are easy to manipulate behind the scenes? I'm not so sure. Company men, are they? Maybe you could say that. Yeah, maybe you could say the company men. But I worry for Sky Sports at the moment. So let's have a look at the evidence, shall we? Let's have a look at the facts. Let's chat some facts and some stats. Right. He's been working with Sky now, good 2 year plus. And this is what he's put on. Savannah Marshall, Clarissa Shields, non-pay-per-view. Carnbrook, pay-per-view, which were way, way, way too late. It'd have been a good fight on a Saturday night non-pay-per-view, but they decided to go the pay-per-view routes. Amir Khan were held together by sellotape, and so were Kell Brook. It was just a case of who had what left. And then we've got Smith Eubank, which basically should have never been a pay-per-view in a million years. But in the current climate, I suppose it is. And now they're doing it again, which is awful because we had a conclusive finish the first time, didn't we, really? You know, Eubank's been found out as a gimmick and a wannabe. And Smith's a seasoned pro in and takes it very seriously. So it's a one-sided fight. But that's more or less it, really, isn't it? That is it. For all the hype and the bluff and Sky Sports being this big behemoth, this big massive company, that's all they've delivered, really. What have they delivered? What? For all these matchmakers working behind the scenes and all these experts who they've been working with, blah de blah, and all these old hands that have got Ben's ear roll, and Ben's got their ear rolls as well. It's not worked out. It's been a bit of a joke, hasn't it, really? It's embarrassing. Bean's gone. It's all shrouded in mystery, but the smart money's saying that Bean's suffering from depression due to financial woes, basically backing three-legged donkeys and gambling addiction. Look, it's just everyday problems for everybody in normal life. Get on with it. Bean, in my opinion, when he was at Sky, was aloof. He were going to do things his way, and we've all seen what happens, haven't we? It looks like Bean's gone because he's in a position there which is untenable, whatever they call it.
if he's been gambling. So they were never going to let him go back, were they? So do I wish Bean well? I don't know him personally, so I've got enough problems of my own without having to worry about somebody that's been on hundreds of thousands of pounds and has taken millions from Sky Sports in his 28 year there. So sort your own problems out. That's what I say. That might be harsh, but everybody in everyday life has problems. It's just a normal blip for anybody, that. So I don't want to hear any sympathy in my house for Bean, which you won't get. So, and people around me won't give him any. So when Bean was there, he thought he were cock of the walk. He's gone now, unlucky. Hearn's gone from Sky. He'd love to get back there though, wouldn't he? And I could see him taking him back. Yeah, I could see him taking him back because who's going to fill the shoes really at Sky? Ben Shalom can't fill Eddie Hearn's shoes at all. He doesn't know what he's doing. Them dates should be shared out. Them Sky dates. They need to be shared out between promoters up and down the country. If they can audition and put what they call pilot shows on, I'm sure that they'd all put good shows on. What a pilot show is this? When I worked for Dennis Hobson, he'd have meetings with TV people from BBC. He'd always trying to get in with BBC, Dennis, because in 2003, Dennis was the last promoter to put a show on the BBC. Clinton Woods fought on that night. He was the last guy to put boxing on the BBC. They've not done it then, and it's been 20 years now. And obviously, we all know Audley Harrison torpedoed the BBC, didn't he? And made it hard work for the promoters that were working with them: Mick Hennessy, Dennis Hobson, Frank Maloney, now Kelly Maloney. But Bean's gone. There's no dates for Dennis on the BBC. There's none for anybody on the BBC, but pilot episodes are where you audition. And you say, look, we'll put this show on if you just pay production costs. We don't want any fees. We just want to show you that we can do it. Because normally these guys would be paying to get on slots, like Free Sports or things like that, or Eurosport, and, channels that are not that big. They get sponsorship together and they put a package together. But if you can get a big coup like the BBC that would pay good TV money, put shows together and get dates, you're going to be quids in. Now, BBC aren't interested. But I think that all the promoters in the UK, if they want to keep promoting and they want dates, they should audition for Sky dates. Put some shows together. Tell Sky we want to put this on, and let them 20 dates a year or whatever it is. It was 20 when Hearn had it. Ben Shalom's not been doing 20 a year, but if they could put shows on Sky and show Sky Sports that we can put good shows on, your Carl Greaves, your Steffi Bowles. I was going to say Phil Jeffries, but he's handed his license in. Your Pat Barrett's, he's a promoter's license. Josh Wales got a promoter's license. I'm sure Josh could put a show together if if Sky were willing to give him a date. If you've got a Sky date, people will want to work with you. They'll all come out of their they'll all come out to work with you. I can assure you, everybody will be your best friend. But there's no captain of the ship, is there, at the moment at Sky? It looks like it's rudderless. That Ben is out of his depth. Is Johnny Nelson going to step up to the big seat? Well, he's gagging for the job, isn't he? But so far, they haven't given him it, have they? So I don't know what's going on there. So if he hasn't got it by now, he ain't never going to get it because Bean's been gone now 10 months, hasn't he? So what have Sky got to show for it? Well, they've got the White Rhino versus It's Big Freeze as chief support on Saturday. So that's a good fight, isn't it? I can get behind that. But that's not going to save Sky Sports or Ben Shalom, is it? They've got Natasha Jonas, who's a fantastic pundit and a world champion, but the pundit team looks a bit jagged at the moment, doesn't it? It looks like it needs shaping up a bit and needs an overhaul. It's they've not moved with the times, have they? Really, in my opinion. So, what's everybody's thoughts on Ben Shalom at Sky? Has he been a disaster? Has it been positive? Like I said, he's put 2 pay-per-views on, Khan and Brook and Smith and Eubank. The third one's this weekend. It's just recycled rubbish. Everything Ben Shalom says Eddie Hearn were doing and what they're doing with DAZN, it's all recycled stuff. Or watch Eubank Smith. They gave him a contract for that. The fans should decide if there's a rematch. Why give him a 2-fight deal for that? Smith's not going to knock it back. It's food and drink to him. He's at the back end of his career. He's put his time in, Liam Smith. But Eubank, he just thinks he's pay-per-view because of his second name. He's not a pay-per-view fighter. And to be fair, Liam Smith's not a pay-per-view fighter, is he really? It's only because he's facing Eubank. So even though he's a good seasoned pro that's been in with Canelo, but he got beat by Canelo, didn't he? His best win is Eubank, Liam Smith. After that, you'd have to say Liam Williams is his best win. That's the bottom line. You know, so Ben Shalom is a young, snotty kid, and he's not experienced enough to carry it off, and he hasn't got the personality, in my opinion. He's like a damp squib. So let me know in the comment section what you think. Okie dokie. Peace out. Keep on trucking. Keep supporting the sport of boxing, and let's move for a change in the sport. All right. And that starts with Sky Sports. All right. Big shout out to Spartan Demolition. Pop, pop, bang. End of. Give me them belts back that you stole, you bum. Hey, before I go, can I just say this? This is a curveball. Could you imagine if Tyson Fury got the Sky contract, eh? Could you imagine the fights that Tyson had put on and his dad John? What sort of fights would that be? Would they be? Would they put good fights on? Or would it be all this misfit stuff? Let me know in the comment section.